Oscar BEVIS, IFL TV MTK Global, delighted to be joined by Mr. David Alaverdian. How are we, mate?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
I just said to you before, you downloaded Zoom for the first time. And I was like, oh, it's fine. We'll jump on Zoom. It'll all be good. We got halfway through an interview and the screen just went black. So apologies for that.
Yeah.
Take two.
That's all good.
We're just going to give people a little insight into your background and all that stuff. Let's just jump straight in. You're originally of Israeli descent. So you grew up in a place a little bit different to now because you're coming at me from Vegas. Just talk to me about growing up in Israel for yourself, David.
It was quite. I live in a small town in the north of Israel, and I like it over there, obviously. But we don't have much boxing, and I just forced it by my father, like many Armenian kids. But I'm Jewish. My mom is Jewish, and me and my brother were going to the boxing gym, but my brother got my dad's genetics, and he's way bigger, and he was growing up really fast, so he's bigger than everybody. So when he wanted to quit, my dad was like, yeah, go ahead. But when I wanted to quit, it was yeah, kid, keep wanting to, but you can't. You have to keep working out. So I was doing it for a while. I was on and off boxing, and then at 18, just before joining the military, I got back just senior. I never had the youth career as well. I quit through the whole youth years, and yeah, just before the military, I went to the nationals. I got silver, and the next year at 19, I got the gold, and I went to the Europeans, got the bronze there, and then I was an athlete in the military, so I had all the perks. For 3 years, I was like coming to the base for a few hours, then going back home.
So at the time, you were forced into boxing because what you got your mother's genes. You were the smaller one, and it was sort of you have to learn how to box to protect yourself. And then fast forward to a point where you're competing for Israel.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much how it was. My dad was afraid that I'm gonna get bullied at school, but I'm not sure if it's because of boxing or not, but I was always like the heart of the company, and things are going good for me anyway. So I might have not needed boxing anyway. I might have. I'm not sure.
So the military in Israel as well, you have to serve a minimum of 3 years.
Yeah.
So you serve those 3 years with the perks. If you weren't boxing, you would have done more military-based stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, you mentioned you're Jewish as well and of Israeli descent. There isn't many of you. What is the scene like in Israel? There really isn't many of you, and it's probably because I imagine there is no boxing scene. Like if you're an amateur in the UK, you can take a route if you're good enough, but there is not much of a scene in Israel.
No, not at all. And the scene that we do have is just I think there's more coaches than actual boxers, and the coaches just argue with each other all the time. Politics inside are just crazy, and yeah, it's just really weird.
How did you find the amateurs? And well, I'm asking you this because I know how you found the amateurs. I know you weren't keen. You said you felt that, especially being from a country like Israel, when you go and compete on an international stage as well, you regularly get perhaps the wrong side of a few decisions.
Yes, yeah, so for the people who don't know the boxers from England that complain about getting robbed, they have no idea what it's really like. When you represent a big country like England, they're not gonna rob you over like nothing. England have so many judges, so many officials. They know how the whole system works, same as the Russians do. But in Israel, we have no judges, we have no officials, we have nothing. You go to any tournament, any competition, something that's pretty serious, you're gonna be always this B side. Always, they're gonna rob you. Amateur boxing is just disgusting. It's rigged.
But you feel like that, and then you also have considered in the back of your mind still, providing the Olympics goes ahead, the qualifiers for that as well.
Yeah, I'll try, because obviously Olympics is a big dream, but it's not my main goal.
Definitely. You're gonna have to knock everyone out. If that's what the judges are like, you're gonna have to knock everyone out.
Yeah, but you know the amateur gloves are just garbage. It's real garbage. You don't even need hand wraps for them. They made professional hand wraps with gloves that are 10 ounces, but with this kind of padding inside them. Why do you need hand wraps then? Honestly, it's a shit. Try. I don't see too many heavyweights knock each other out in the amateurs, especially not over 3 rounds. Almost all of the fights are like looking pretty 50-50, so you basically can rob anybody.
Well, there we are. One of amateur boxing's biggest fans there, David Alaverdian. So what do young boys get into in Israel then? Obviously, if boxing isn't the main sport, and like you said, you're pushing towards it, what is sort of the normal path for a young boy in Israel?
Computer games and food. I'm just kidding. Probably judo and soccer, which is football. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And obviously, professional is, you have dreams at the top end of professional level. You're currently 2-0, 2 knockouts, early days in the pros, but should I just start by saying you must be heavy-handed? I mean, 2-0, 2 knockouts, that's the first thing people are going to look at. You're a bit heavy-handed?
I think I am, but you never know until you fight somebody decent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So fighting journeyman it's not it doesn't show that you really have power. So we'll see. I have a lot of knockouts in the amateurs as well, but it's mostly body shots. So we'll see when I fight somebody like really decent, and then I'll tell you if I'm just slick or I'm a puncher as well.
Refreshing to hear. Your 2 fights have been in Mexico. Obviously, that would be down to your sort of managerial, promotional situation. You get a lot of young Americans as well now, like 16, 17, fighting on these cards in Mexico. That's the route you've taken as well. Sort of when you were turning pro, tell us about your managerial situation. What did your manager offer you? What was it that sort of worked for you, would you say?
So my manager, he is a wealthy man. He has money. He doesn't. He basically is here to really help me. He told me before, look, I really want it to be fair for you, because he's seen my amateur fights, and he said I'm just gonna make sure you're not gonna be the B-side all the time. Just gonna be fair. So gonna have fair opportunity, and that's the most important thing for me, really.
And what's it like fighting on these shows in Mexico? Obviously, staying in the States, training in the States, and then crossing the border for these fights. Are they like, I don't know, is there much of an atmosphere? Is it quite hostile at times?
It's not hostile at all. It's actually nice, but it's cowboy. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a Wild West. It's funny for me. Yeah, it's just
Is it
weird.
like, is it like the sort of things you see in Fight Club or something? Or like Fight Night, just like that's what I could picture. Do you remember the game Fight Night Champion?
No, I didn't play it. No.
Oh no, that's what it's sort of, I could picture it like. Do you get many people watching when you're there?
My first fight over there, I didn't see too many people in the crowd. But last fight, there was quite a while. Yeah, quite a lot of people. I was surprised. Really, it was nice, and everybody was very, very nice. And especially when they heard I'm from Israel, they're like, "Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem."
And what sort of path are you looking to take? Because obviously, yeah, I know you're going to tell me in a little bit you want to fight in the UK, and I know you'll want to be world champion one day. But what's the sort of path now? Obviously, COVID has destroyed things a little bit, but just keep fighting under this same managerial banner, keep getting wins, and then just see where it turns you up.
Yeah, definitely. This is the only option I have right now, and we don't see an end to this COVID thing. So once hopefully it's gonna be over, and then I'll have more opportunities. But right now, just build the record up as quick as possible.
When was the last time there was a show in Israel?
Professional show?
Yeah,
I don't know. Don't think there was one. Can't
we should bring
remember.
it back. That should be your aim as a world champion to
Man,
defend the belt in Israel.
that would be a dream. That would be a dream. Honestly,
What about the UK?
that would
Because I
be.
know you've got UK dreams as well.
Oh yeah, I've been to London a few times, and I would like to fight over there. I would love it.
Obviously, we've got a couple of super flyers. We've got Sonny Edwards, Cal Fight. Is there anyone that sort of tickles your fancy?
I would love to fight Sonny Edwards at some point, because I don't like this kid. Honestly, I was following him on Instagram for a while, and he's just an immature child. I I don't even understand how people can support this kid. Honestly, wow, it's crazy for me, because everything he used to post is just trying to boost his own confidence. And oh, I'm that, I'm this. Shut the hell up. Honestly, what? But I do like his brother Charlie. He seems like a really decent guy, and he's a family man now. And yeah, I would I'm happy for him really. And he went through adversity. Um, a cool fella, really.
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to come on and sort of see you gun for Sonny Edwards. I mean, obviously we know he's going to be pushing on for world titles. I know he's probably going to respond to this now, actually. But yeah, there's just something about him that you don't take a liking to, I guess.
No, I'll be honest. Right now. I'm just a nobody, really. I only had 2 fights. I'm not gonna be calling out, Sonny Edwards. Look at me. I'm over here trying to get some attention. I'm just saying I don't like him. It doesn't mean he's not good. He is a good fighter, but he's just an immature child. I'm just saying it how like it is. Um, yeah, but he is a good fighter. Definitely is.
I love it. I feel like you've come with an energy of knowing your worth and being quite real about it as well. You're not sitting there going, because you do get fighters who are 2-0 who would call out someone like Sonny and would say, look, wherever you are, I want to fight you. But you're being pretty real about the situation and pretty realistic.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm basically nobody right now. So I had 2 fights. Suddenly I want to fight everybody. Come on, I just gotta be real.
But you're training in Vegas. Only champs train in Vegas.
When I first came here, I was really surprised. I had some sparring with 15-year-old kids, and I was like, these kids can crack. What the hell are they eating over here? But like after few months, you just get adjusted, and it becomes way easier. And I spar really good guys over here. I was in the main sparring partner for Kazuto Ioka, if you know who he is.
Oh wow.
Twice for two of
Yeah.
his fights, except the last ones, the last 2 fights. The first one, he was prepared against I forgot the guy's name, but he knocked him out. So I was as an orthodox, and then he was fighting Javier Sintron. So I
Yeah.
was for the whole camp I was just southpaw for him, and he won both of these fights. And it was paid sparring, it's great sparring. And after that sparring, I was like, okay, I know where I stand. So
Yeah. Well, I was actually going to mention the world scene in a bit. I was going to say, sort of, where do you rank the likes of Estrada, Gonzalez, Ioka? But you've been in there and you've sparred with one of them. Did you sort of notice straight away? Could you tell the levels it will take to get to world level at Superfly?
no, when I sparred him, I realized that I give him a lot of problems. The
Yeah.
movement, the sleek style, um, they're more used to, especially the lower weights. It's more Mexicans. Their whole they're just in your face. But I'm moving my head all the time, dodging, slipping punches, and it's more of the probably European style what we have in the amateurs. So while I was sparring him, I was like, okay, damn, I'm doing really good. And this guy's a pound for pound.
Yeah, I mean, well, we got a Southpaw Slickster on the books at Superfly, so you never know. You could be a
Yeah.
bit of a problem. I'm going to ask you about the world scene now. Obviously, bursting with talent. You mentioned Ioka, massive win over Tanaka. Rungvisai isn't out the equation. Estrada and Gonzalez go at it again very soon. How do you assess that sort of top bracket at 115 pounds?
Man, it's harder now. But I'll probably drop to 108. I'll try to start from 108 and then move up. So my first 2 fights were 115, but I lost a lot of weight uh, in 2020 because I was working a lot. I went through stress,
Yeah.
like regular jobs when I didn't box, and so I lost a lot of weight as well. I just did a lot of carpentry work, and so 12 to 14 hours a day. So I was just waking up, going to work, coming back, just sleep. And I only ate once a day, so because you are always on your feet and you're always sweating in summertime, uh, I lost. So I'm not sure how much it is in stone, but I lost. I was weighing in 58 kilos, and then after work I weigh in 54, around that 54, so like around 4 kilos.
Obviously, you're not a full-time professional then. You still have to work alongside this.
Oh, now I am no, but during COVID, I didn't like the 2020. I just stopped
Yeah.
boxing when the whole mess started.
Okay, but you're a full-time professional now. How come you're in professional circumstances? Because obviously you've only had 2 fights, and we have people over here in the UK who might be 18-0, and they're still going out and working on construction sites. So how come you've got the luxury of being a full-time pro?
My manager is just treats me really. I live rent free. It gives me money for living and everything. So I'm very happy with him, really.
Really, I bet there's a few English people that are going to be phoning up your manager now.
Maybe.
Just before I let you go, David, talk to me about the dreams you got. I mean, like I said earlier, I imagine you're going to tell me you want to be world champion one day, and that's the dream of all dreams, I guess.
Being a world champion is just obviously one of them. We talked earlier, I would love to main event a show in Israel. That would be crazy. But obviously getting the belts, I would like to be a few division world champion. I would like to start from 108 and 112, 115, and maybe even 118. We'll see. That would be
good stuff.
Pretty sick.
Pretty big dreams then. Has there been a Jewish world champion?
We had Yuri Foreman. There's lots of Jewish fighters, but like long time ago. But I'm not sure if there's anybody else except Yuri Foreman that came from Israel, that actually came from Israel.
Okay. Well, like I said, Yuri Foreman then and David Alaverdian now.
That would be crazy, man. That's the dream. That's the plan.